Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, the morning after Christmas. I hope you all had a wonderful time if you celebrate, and if you just had a day off, I hope it was nice and you had a wonderful day. I had two lovely days, Christmas Eve and Christmas, with family and loved ones. So I had a great holiday, but as usual, it was a busy time, and a lot of other people did the cooking. I did not do the cooking, but it's always a busy time filled with lots going on. So today I'm also very happy to have a day off and free to myself. My office is closed today, and then it's closed all of next week, and I cannot tell you how much I've been looking forward to a break. As I've mentioned before, I would love to be retired and to be able to stay home and read all day and do whatever I want, but for now I still have to go and work my job. So today is a wonderful day for me to catch up on rest and do whatever I want, and I'm gonna be reading. I will be honest, I have slacked off a bit on my reading the last week or so, probably since I went walking and was listening to my audiobook. I haven't finished that audiobook. I listened to it a little bit, and then I listened to a little bit this morning when I woke up, and I said, I started doing the scrolling through Threads, which is my current temptation, Threads and YouTube. I was gonna start scrolling. I said, let me put my audiobook on for a little bit. So I did listen to that, and I've got a little over an hour left of it. So I'm saving that for later in the day when like my eyes get tired and I just wanna listen to a book. But I also have been reading a little bit this morning from Murder in the Place of Anubis, which I started a few weeks ago and showed you all in a video. I had started it, read 20 pages or so, and then just the last few weeks had not picked it up again. So my goal for today is to read this. I've started and got a few more pages into it this morning. I'm actually slightly behind on my Goodreads goals. So I have the last few days of the year here to finish 2 books. And these are going to be the 2 books I finish. So it says I'm 1 book behind because I kind of slacked off the last week or week and a half on reading. So I do still have quite a bit to read, but I think I'm getting close to finishing my Goodreads goal. I'd love to just sit here and read this today. And it's a pretty short book. It's just a little over 200 pages. I'm about a quarter of the way through it now. And it's an easy read. I'm enjoying it so far. It very much feels like other historical cozy mysteries, but because it's a setting, it's the time of Tutankhamun. So it's a setting that I don't read a lot about. And while I had my period, as a teenager of Egyptian interest, like I feel like all teens do, it's been a long time since I've studied any of that. So it does feel, the mood of the book and the characters, they feel like cozy mystery characters or historical cozy mystery characters, but also it feels a little different. It's a new environment to be in, so I'm really enjoying that, and it's an easy read. Like just I'm understanding everything that's going on pretty well, and the characters are very clear. She makes it very clear what the characters are like and their motivations and their place in the story. So I think I should be able to get through this today if I stay on the reading, which I want to do, but sometimes we get distracted by the phone. So I think after I film this, because I film this on my phone, after I film this, I'm actually gonna go put the phone into my bedroom So it's a little bit farther away and I can't keep picking it up to like check something. Even though I used it earlier to look up something, I can't remember what it was. There was like a word in here that I didn't recognize, so I looked it up really quick, but I don't have to do that. I can do it later. I can learn from context clues, but I think I'm gonna take the phone. I'm gonna put it back in my room and just work on my reading. And then I'm gonna do some chores. Like I definitely need to run the dishwasher, so I'm gonna go do that now. Those things that I can do while I'm just relaxing and reading are, you know, easy to do chores that I like to get done as soon as possible when I can. So yeah, I will keep you updated on how the book is going and how my cozy reading day at home is. You know what? No matter what I do today, it's a good day because I don't have to be at work. So I am thrilled. So I'll keep you posted on how it's going in a little bit. Hey, it's now Saturday afternoon. I was gonna do a little update on my reading yesterday afternoon, but then we had a visitor come over for a little while, so got a little bit busy around here, not super busy, just we had someone over and I did end up, I actually can take the bookmark out because I finished the book. It took me until early evening, but I did finish this yesterday and I thought it was fantastic. And after I finished this, I listened to the last hour or so of my audiobook, finished my audiobook. So I did it. I met my Goodreads goal with a few days to spare. And hooray, I did it. There were a couple of times, especially over the summer, where I was quite a few books behind. I think it was like 6 or 7 books behind. And I popped on a couple of very short audiobooks. Sometimes I'll look on Libby and then find something that's an hour or two. So I listened to a few of those to try to get back into my reading. I was traveling this summer, but and read one book while I was traveling around because I find it hard to read when I'm on the go like that. I don't get a lot of time to do so, but I did pick up a book when I was in Belfast, and I read that kind of while I was traveling. But I don't usually read a lot when I'm doing that, so I did get quite a bit behind and then just got into kind of a slump of reading. But what usually helps for me is to read a couple of quick books, especially audiobooks that will just get me back on track and get me reading again. So yes, I finished Murder in the Place of Anubis. This was a great first book in the series. So if you like historical cozy mysteries, then I would definitely check this out. I bought it on Pango Books with some credits I had because I think it would have been hard for my library to get it. Some of this older stuff can be hard for them to get because it's out of print or just difficult for them to source. So I did buy this, and then I'm going to go, I think, and buy the other. There's like 5 more books in the series, I believe. I might go to my library book sale next year because I remember seeing one in the series. I should have grabbed it because it probably wasn't too expensive, but see if I can find a few more of them there. It was definitely a cozy mystery. There was a murder mystery in it, and the main character plus his adopted son are sort of investigators for the pharaoh. So there's the murder mystery aspect of it, finding out who done it, but there's also court intrigue of like Tutankhamun's court and what's going on in there with his enemies, and sort of spycraft as well that the main character, I'm going to say Lord Meren, M-E-R-E-N, Lord Meren is his like investigator, his sort of chief of spies, I would say. So if you like both of those things together, either or, I kind of wasn't expecting that part of it, but I like those kinds of court intrigue, spying kind of stories. And so I enjoyed that part of it too. But yes, definitely going to continue that series. And then my Christmas mystery in the Bake Shop mystery series was great as usual. And I'll just continue on soon with the next in the series. So what am I gonna do next? We're getting close to this 2026 where I said I was going to really work hard to read and be more present in the world too, as part of my trying to stay off screens, trying not to scroll too much. I definitely still find myself going to scroll in the morning. I'm off work right now, so it's very tempting to just pick up the phone and start looking at it in the morning. So I'm using this as like trying to step into doing less and less screen time. But I'm still watching TV in the evenings after I finish my books. So I can do a little bit of that. I just want to try not to spend all my whole day doing that, or my whole day just staring at my phone, scrolling through and not looking at really anything. So as it is Saturday afternoon, Saturday mornings, we usually go to yard sales. And even though this time of year is pretty quiet, people don't have a lot of yard sales, especially right after the holidays. There were a few, and I've been thinking like I should also, I've talked about doing some journaling. I've talked about my going for walks, trying to do those kind of things. But also I had been saying I was gonna get like a coloring book and some crayons or pencils to do them with. So at the yard sales, these were, a bunch of kids were there and they had like their books out, and I found this little coloring book. And I got a bunch of stuff from them for just a few dollars. So these are probably less than $1, and then a container of Crayola Twistables. That's newfangled stuff for me, and then like some colored pencils. So I will probably just do a little coloring as sort of I'll probably just do a little coloring with those and do it as sort of like a calming activity, a not staring at a screen, trying to not stare at a screen activity that's sort of low effort. I don't have to think too much to do this like I have to with reading, so that gives me something else to do and try out. I used to love coloring as a kid. I don't know if everyone was like that, but I loved coloring as a kid and drawing, and I'm not a great artist. I wish I could doodle a little bit. I know some friends of mine who are really great doodlers and create great little sketches as sort of like to fill their time and use their time, and I'm kind of jealous of them, and I wish I was better at that, but at least I can do a little bit of coloring. And I was excited to find, something, and I can try this. If I don't really like it, then I didn't spend too much money on it, because we're all about saving money here as well. But yeah, that's found that at the last of like the 4 yard sales we made it to today, that were the only few that were happening. So I'm gonna do that a little bit today. I'm gonna try out my little new coloring kit, and I am gonna return to my In Search of Empire, the book I've been working on for a little while, as part of my personal curriculum, to study more American history. This one, I'm about a quarter of the way through it. It's just been taking me a while. It has been a slog at certain points, and I think maybe I'm getting a little bit fatigued by my personal curriculum. And I think after I'm done with this one, so I'm gonna work on this one over this next week that I'm still off work, hooray. It's so nice not having to think about work right now, because I would still be thinking about it on Saturday and how I'd have to go back. So I've got the whole week ahead of me. I'm gonna work on that book for a little bit this week, and hopefully I'd kind of like to finish it this week, and then in the new year maybe crack open one of the library books I got in my library book haul, probably the Susanna Kearsley. I'm kind of itching to start her book, so I'd like to start something like that, and probably take a little bit of a break from the personal curriculum and then come back to it with fresh eyes, because I have read probably 6 or 7 books off of a huge list of hundreds of books to really get comprehensive American history kind of self-education. And I want to read as many of them as possible because I really want to know more. I think this one has been a little bit harder for me because I don't know much about the French colonizing the Americas, because I live in the United States. So I know we got a little bit of that history back in the day when I was a school kid, but I feel like I don't remember it really well. And we don't hear about it as much as, say, of course, the American Revolution and the British colonies. And I used to live in Massachusetts where, especially in Boston, I worked in the center of Boston in a library, and so much of it is like colonial New England history there, and American Revolution that's like a whole tourist industry there. So I feel like I got a lot more of that. So when I read the books that are in that vein, I feel like I have a basis already for that. This one has been a little bit harder to grasp everything because it's all kind of new information, but I'm learning some good stuff from it. So I'm glad to be reading it. I just think I will take a break afterwards. So I'm really excited that I met my Goodreads goal. I didn't know if I was going to do it this year, but I did. I made it, and I'm super happy about that. And I want to know, did you meet your Goodreads goal or your goal, however many books you wanted to read, or maybe you wanted to read on a bunch of topics or get to certain books? Did you get to all of those? I hope you did. And I hope you had a great reading year. I hope you had a wonderful holiday, and I wish you a very happy new year. If I don't see you before then, we'll see if I film something before then. I'm thinking of some ideas to film some other stuff, so I may see you then, or I may see you after the new year. So have a great one. I'll see you on the next one. All right, bye.